You can see on this O-ring that goes on that piston, this is the one that was broken. You can see the broken pieces out of it right there. But it's got a lip on it. So this goes on, slides into the piston, and then you've got this lip that's around it. And to get this piston to go down into here, you have to slip a feeler gauge, or you could use this is a drawer removal tool off a Snap-on toolbox. It's round on the end. It's pretty sturdy. And you have to hold the piston down and work this around the outside and work it around the inside to be able to hold that, get that piston gently holding pressure on it as you work it all the way around. You get that lip to fold in on the inside of that, where you can slide that down. You got to do that in the middle right here, and you got to do that on the outside right here. So I've worked this all the way around the outside of that slowly while pushing down on this piston right here until I could get that piston to go down and seat. Then the spring goes on, the keeper's go on, and I'm just going to lay the snap ring right there in the top of that right there. Then I can pick up our tool again. Squeeze the springs together and put it in the, snap it into place in where the snap ring goes. It's locked in. And then I can start to compress this ring, the keeper, to press the spring down. Keep my hands out of the way of the camera. Just watching that spring. All I'm doing is compressing that down. I want to make sure that that's seated on there where it's not blocking anything in the center. And I'm just turning the wheel up here. And this is screwing down through here, it's threaded right through here. And it's screwing down through here and it's compressing that spring. You got to watch it as it starts to go down over there and make sure, I'm going to move this snap ring out of the way right now. Make sure it is lining up where it will go past the end of that and down to where you can see the groove down in there. I just felt it go past the snap ring groove. And I can see the snap ring, the groove that's down there. Now, ideally, these kind of pliers would be great because they got a little knot, they got a little dimple in the side right here where you can catch that ring and open it up. But like I said, it's not deep enough to go down in there. So I've just got to work this back on there. I'm going to start off by trying to compress this snap ring. Turn this where maybe y'all can see it. My hands aren't blocked. I'm just going to open this snap ring and get it started around the outside edge of that center hub. I don't want to spend a lot of time doing this because y'all will get bored watching me. But it's not hard to put back in there. It just is kind of flimsy and doesn't really want to go right away when you put it in there, so you can work it around the outside edge and spread it out wide enough. See, it slipped on me. Finally got it started. If I can just spread this out a little more and get it to go around that outside edge a little better. I want to get it to drop down in there. I want to make sure it's in the ring all the way along. And on this, it's got little keepers right there all the way around to make sure that that comes up inside and that ring can't come out. And when I'm comfortable that it can't come out, it's in the groove because I can slide it. Then all I got to do is back off the pressure on this. Won't take near as much to back off of it because the spring's not going to come up anymore. I want to make sure I move that tool, and I want to make sure that that snap ring is captured behind each one of these little 4 protrusions right here so it can't come out, and that piston is compressed and ready to be held, and we're ready to build the clutch packs to go in there. And the clutch packs are simply a matter of laying them back in there. There's no pressure on that ring. Now I want to test this piston, but I want to put the clutches in it first, because if the clutches aren't in here when I air test this piston, then it can push the lip past the edge right here and blow the lip out. So we want to make sure that we've got that done. We can start with our wavy. It sits in there. This is the top piece. And then I'm going to go over here and get a pack out. I'm not putting these back in. All of these steels are the same. All of these clutches are the same. One of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to take these clutches, the fiber clutches, I'm going to get a bowl and some transmission fluid that I'm going to put back in this transmission. I'm going to drop those in there and I'm going to let them soak. I want them to absorb that fluid. These are wet clutches. Don't want to put them in dry, because when we try to start it up, they could slip and they could be damaged. We want them lubricated. So all I'm going to do is we start. The first thing I'll get after I put the wavy in is a steel. And then I will put a fiber, a steel, a fiber, a steel, a fiber, a steel. There's 5 of them. And then I will set this one on top. You can see it's different. This is the plate that holds it in, and put the snap ring in. Very easy to do. I'm not going to waste your time while I go open the pack and soak the things. So we'll see how this follows up. We'll test it in just a little while to make sure everything's working.